Hello, everybody. We are live here with Teen Quarantine. I am so excited. We have with us here Serenity. I am so very excited to have you today. How are you doing, Serenity?
I'm doing really good today. I've been in a good mood all day,
I can
so.
see that. I can literally feel it like through the screen. So tell me about that. What have you done today?
Well, I woke up, I ate breakfast,
Uh,
and then
that's a
I did
great
some
start.
schoolwork, and then I spent the rest of the day playing guitar.
Okay. Cool.
I'm still practicing better every day, so that's what's important to me.
Awesome. So tell me about guitar. What is it about that? Was it that was bringing you so much joy? Is that something you do normally, like a part of your day? Tell me about that.
Well, when I was little, my dad got me a guitar for like my birthday or Christmas, but I never really like got into it that much. And recently, I like picked it up again, and then I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." So I started like practicing a little bit more. And then today, I had finished all my schoolwork, so I didn't really have any activity to do. So I just went in my room and picked it up, and it was just I just spent hours and I didn't even know it, just playing guitar.
Hmm. So it's not like something normally that you're doing.
Mm-mm.
That is so cool. So cool. So, I mean, first thing, before we even get started in anything, I'll tell you again, I could completely and totally, I can see it in your eyes, I can feel it in your whole presence. So, this is something that you can't not do. Starting right now, from this day forward, you have to make time to do that and things like that because when we find those things that bring us joy, like it just does it. Like we feel better. We feel totally better, and I can see it. You got this awesome smile, and so I'm just very excited for you. And my first piece of advice is make that a thing now. Put it in your schedule every
Mm-hmm.
day to spend some time like going through guitar and taking little lessons. And I know for me, I started doing piano a little while back because I was inspired by Leanne. After I lost my fingers, I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. And she basically inspired me that, hey, yeah, you can. Like, it's a choice. If you want to, you can totally do that, right? And so I started doing it, and it's now one of my most joyful times. Like, I get behind that piano, and here's to give you an example. It used to be into the night before sleep. That was like when I did my piano. I had to stop doing that because it filled me with so much energy I couldn't go to sleep. And so, anyway, just so cool you found that. That's great. So, let's get started. What questions do you have? Sort of like where are you at right now?
Well, I have a question because so with the whole quarantine and school being canceled, I don't really know how to emotionally handle that abrupt transition from middle school to high school because middle school never really had like an official closure. It was there and then it wasn't. We didn't get our graduation ceremony or final choir concert, no closing NJHS ceremony, no end of the year field trip. It was just
Hmm,
over and no one did it.
sure. And I'm assuming all that stuff. I mean, you work really hard at those things.
Yeah.
So, tell me first off, like, where is the struggle there? Because I'm going to talk about how we can get through some of that. But like right now, one of the best things we can do for feelings is just start to talk them out a little bit. What is it about
Yeah.
that was so important to you? I mean, there's so many things. Because first off, actually, let me say this first. That freaking sucks.
Yeah.
Let me just start with that. Let me just start with that freaking sucks, and we can just go ah like we can just that out. Like matter of fact, just do that for me right now. Just go ah. I'm serious. I'm totally yes, yes,
So
yeah.
frustrating.
So frustrating. Ah. Okay. So
So
so sometimes in the beginning, it's just about doing that. It's about going, okay, I am upset right now. I'm upset, and let me get that out. Let me get this out. The other day, Joey was having a hard time with something, and he thought I was kidding, and I was like, yell. And he's like, no. And I was like, yell. And he's like, and I was like, ah! And I like screamed it out, and he did it like two times, and he's like, oh, that felt good. Like, that felt so good. And I think part of it is we're releasing some of all this energy that's inside us, because the truth of the matter is life's going to happen. Things are going to happen that we have no control over, that we can't predict. And sometimes they just suck. Like, you've worked really hard. You worked really hard on all these things, and it sucks that you don't get to do that stuff. I have stuff that have happened, and I'm going to get to that, and it sucks that that stuff's happening. But you do have power over the choices you make now and how you handle that stuff and how you can, again, let it all out, but realize that it's your choice whether we can fill ourselves with positivity. So the same way we yelled, you go, okay, when I'm going through those tough times, I talk about it, I get it out, but I don't wallow in it, I don't sit in it, and then I go find something joyful to do. I go find something that I can do that's loving. So before I go into my thing on how to help with that, I want you to air out, like, what is it about that stuff that was important to you, that you were, like, looking forward to?
Well, since the beginning of like the first day of 8th grade, when I met who my classmates were going to be, it was instantly like one of those, like, it was like when you're really close with a big group of friends, but it was my entire class.
Okay.
So we were all so excited to go on the end of the year field trip. And with my choir class, our final, it was going to be our final middle school performance. And we were putting so much effort and time into rehearsing and practicing. And then it was just taken away from us before we could even register that that was going to happen. And that's really disappointing, because I was so excited to be able to do that. And it was going to be like this big deal for all of us. And 8th grade promotion too.
Yeah.
For me, as well as most of the girls in my 8th grade class, we had already gotten our promotion dresses, and we were making plans to get ready at one person's house and then all go down there together. And it was going to be the closure of our middle school lives, and then it was just gone. And that's so sad for me, because you don't really get that until 8th grade. Mm-hmm. The closest you get to that is kindergarten graduation, and I don't even remember that happening. So
yeah, I totally understand. It's hard. So let me ask you a couple questions about that. Okay, so all the work you've done, did you do it with the purpose of getting to do this thing at the end?
Kind of. Partially. It was always in the back of my mind, but that wasn't like the main purpose.
Okay.
For like being in choir, it was just like the atmosphere of everyone being nice and like joyful, and it was just like a good environment. But we all put so much effort into making our final performance our best one.
Sure.
And then so.
Of course. So going into the choir concert, it's hard to put all this effort towards a final thing and then you don't get to see that final product. Totally understand that. So what I would start to focus on first in that circumstance, let's talk about the choir concert, was it fun getting ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay. How?
Well, we all were on the same page, and we all knew that we all needed to put an equal amount of effort in it. And so it was just like a good environment, and like no one was super stressed out about it because we had so much time to prepare for it. And we all were it was just like a nice environment to be in, and everyone in my choir they're so nice and caring. So it was just like being with family while you're doing something you love all at the same time.
Sure. So the ending result of that got taken away. Yes. But the memory of getting to do all of that work with them, the time and the days you spent, the friends you made, that's what I focus on. That's what I would focus on. And pushing those things forward. Pushing forward in joy at what you do have. Because here's the thing. You are not the only one. So there's comfort in this. Like you said, your entire 8th grade is going through this struggle. So number one, as far as the grieving process, the getting through this, is knowing that you're not alone. Like, you are not alone in this. And let's take it outside of your school. How many schools are in this nation? And every
Yeah.
single one of those schools, all those kids are going through the same thing for their 8th grade stuff. And in high school, it's the same thing. Like, there are kids who've worked all the way to high school and they're not going to graduate. They're not going to get to walk. Like, there are these things so there is something to the power of knowing that you're not alone. There's something to the power of knowing that, hey, my friends are in this with me. So I'm going to take it to the promotional part and the dresses and the things you guys prepared. So we had a plan for all that, right? The plan was to do it a certain way. The plan was to set it all up so that you could celebrate the accomplishments that you have worked so hard for. So the choir concert's one that we don't have as much control over because that's a group effort of us all singing, but there are creative ways. We'll get to that. But the promotional part, again, going back to that sucks. It's not something we wanted. The whole point of the promotion is to celebrate the work you put in, right? It's to celebrate it's National Honor Society, right? Is that what you're in?
Yeah.
Sorry, what is it?
National Junior Honor Society.
National Junior Honor Society. Like, I know, I had friends who did that. I wasn't in that group because I wasn't smart enough. But there are plenty of kids that were, and I remember how much they had to work to get to that spot, to do that. So really what it's about, I think, and based on what you're telling me, is just a culmination of all the work you have done. And so I don't think that has to not happen. Matter of fact, I think it should happen. Just not in the way it was planned. Just like I get made fun of it all the time, Serenity. You're going to laugh at this, okay? And again, this is keep finding joy moments, okay? I'm a birthday guy. I love my birthday a little too much. Gets joked around all the time here. I turned 30, okay? Which is actually an important birthday, a big birthday in a sense. Like, it's a milestone in someone's life. Well, all this is going on at this time. I had an entire show planned and, like, had stuff where all my friends were going to come, and it was a big deal. And honestly, way less than what you've got going on, honestly. But I was super excited about it, and what happened was I was just like, okay, well, that's not happening. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to trust. And what's cool is my friends, Matt, Joey, Shay, the people who I'm around all the time, who are really close to me, my parents, like my brother who lives in Colorado, I got tons of calls. I got tons of people coming in. But the day before, Matt brought us over to his house, and it was him and his family, his kids, and me. We FaceTimed Shay, brought her into the conversation, and we all ate dinner together with Shay at the table in FaceTime. And I'll tell you, it's the best birthday I've ever had. Best birthday I've ever had. Because I will never forget that time. I will never forget it, and it will never happen again. Most likely, something to this level, to this extent, will not happen again. And if it does, it'll be a while, right? So, like, this is a tough thing, but also there are joyful moments in the fact that if we can find them, the guitar you discovered, you would have never discovered. And think about right now, think about for me, all of the joy that's going to come from that guitar in the next months, years. Like, you don't know. You might learn to play guitar and end up being a guitar player. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. So you start focusing on those joys. And going back to the actual promotion, you guys, did you get the dresses yet?
Yeah, it's in my closet already.
Wonderful. Plan something. Plan a FaceTime deal. And I know it's not the same. I'm not saying it's the same. It's not. It's different. But let me tell you, from that experience of the 30th birthday, and again, that's different, but it was the best memory I've ever had of a birthday. And I think you're going to look back and you're going to smile, and way down the line, you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids when they're doing their graduation, their promotion, you're there, how you FaceTimed your promotion and you all wore your dresses and you like walked in them and did like fun things. You could play music and have a dance. Like, literally, you could do anything. It's it's so powerful. And then here's what you're also doing. You are giving them the power, your friends, to be filled with joy too. Because again, I know that they're probably struggling. Those, especially those ones that you were planning all this with. If you gave them a call and you filled them with joy, and you go like, "Hey guys, same deal. I know this sucks. I know it's not a good thing, but let's do something together. Let's do what we said we're gonna do. We can't go outside the house. Cool. Let's come together, and let's make a memory that we're never gonna forget." And probably you do that. I bet you. I actually can guarantee you're gonna remember it more than I remember my 8th grade promotion, way more, and way more than most do. But the problem is most people aren't going to do things like that. So they're just going to go home and they're going to sit around. I don't know where that accent came from. Go home. Did you hear that? Like, that was weird. They're going to go home and they're going to sit around and it's going to be sad. This sad, sad thing. And they're going to sulk in the sadness and let the sadness continue. And they're going to keep thinking about what it would have looked like. And the fact of the matter is it does suck, but there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about making that thing happen. So every time you sit and grieve in it continuously, you're just going to keep bringing yourself down and bringing yourself down. So instead, you get excited about like, all right, cool, let's make this memory. What do you think about
Let's do something different.
Yeah, let's do something different. What do you think about that?
I want to do that so bad. I want to get a whole group FaceTime with all of my friends. Just have everyone dress up.
Do it. Do it. Please do it. Please do it. And if you have any trouble whatsoever with tech stuff, anything, okay, you call me.
Okay.
You call me. If we have to, we can arrange it on a weekend, and I will help you figure out if somebody doesn't have, because we had to deal with all this as a studio. Like, we're adapting. Do we love having people in this? Are you kidding me? I'm a hugger, man. I want to hug you right now. And we can't, so we adapt. So we figured out this whole new system that's making things work in this way and making it great. And all these memories, Matt and Joey spent all day setting up all this, and every day they've spent setting up new ways, tearing it down, setting it up, tearing it down, setting it up, going, how can we make it better for our students, right? And so, yeah, I want to be there with you right now, but these memories that we're creating online in our class, you'll never forget them. I'll never forget them. I will treasure them. So do it. If you run into tech problems, we know about Mac versus PC, issues with those things, and if it comes down to it, I will figure out a way to literally help you broadcast it myself. I will sit behind a computer, and I will walk you through it the way I walk through class, and I will be your editor online. Okay?
All right. Okay.
So you're going to do it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Okay, I'm going to make one quick adjustment really quick. I want to hear all about that. Like, all about that. And I want you to call me, and I just like, I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. Okay. So I think a lot of people are going to get to learn from this experience. And I hope they do. I hope everybody watching sees this and goes, oh my gosh, I can do that same thing. And I've seen it. I've seen it with weddings. I've seen it with birthdays. I've seen it with all kinds of stuff where people are just getting creative, the ones who choose to. And again, those memories are going to be so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So excited for you.
Oh, I'm so excited now.
You should be. Oh, you totally should be. Totally should be. Okay, what other questions do you have?
Okay. I have one more that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
So, pretty much my entire life, I've had a schedule that kept me busy from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep, with school included. And now that school is shortened, I have that like gap that like all of my school activities, they've been canceled, extracurriculars, all of that's been canceled. So now I just have that empty space, and I'm trying to find new things to fill it with. But eventually I'm going to run out of stuff because I don't have everything inside my house.
Sure. Yeah.
But I just don't know what to do with that like period of time that I don't know what to do with it.
Okay, so let me start with a question. Right now, are you scheduling?
Partially.
Okay, tell me about what that looks like.
Well, I have a general idea of what I'm going to do throughout the day. Like, I wake up, I eat breakfast at about the same time every day. I shower about the same time. I do my schoolwork.
Okay.
And then, depending on the day, I have online, like, math challenge that I do at a specific time with my school's math challenge team. We have to do it online now because we can't meet in person. But that takes part of my time, so I have to like schedule around that like designated time. And then after that, I'll be like, I'll read for a couple like an hour or two. So I'll do that. And then I just kind of play it by ear, I guess.
Okay, cool. So I think one thing that might help with that, because a lot of it seems like you have ideas for already, and you've kind of got a loose schedule within that, and that's good. That's good. But based on this, I think what might help you a lot is if you decide a very specific regimen. So when you were going to school, what time did you have to get up?
7:30.
Okay. What time did you get to school?
About 8:40, 8:45.
Okay. Did you get ready before all that in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got there at 8:45. Then how long are you at school?
Well, I don't know exactly how long it is, but we get out at 4 o'clock.
Okay. And then with your classes, are you in one classroom the whole time?
Mm-mm.
Why do you think that is?
So that we can get like some sort of change so that we don't have to be stuck in the same seat for the whole 7 hours.
That's absolutely right. It's absolutely right. And we've got all kinds of different topics that we're learning, right? So in that same way right now, even though school's all in one spot, I think if you create a regimented schedule, so you can push it a little bit if you want, but honestly, I wouldn't, because I think there's something to the mornings. I really do. So you set it up where, okay, I'm getting up at this time as if I had to leave the house to go to school. And then I get ready like I was going to have to do that. And you start moving your schedule in certain directions. You put in literally for the week, every day, and a lot of them are the exact same thing at exact same time. So for example, you know that you have class for the acting school at when? When is
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock to 7:30, right? On what day?
Monday.
Will that change?
No.
No. Okay? Because that's set in your schedule. That's there. I know that. That's not like, I think I'll show up to acting class like somewhere around like 6:20, maybe 5:40, like, and so because of that, you get yourself in a certain mood, you get psyched for it, you know what you're walking into. Whereas the other things, it's really easy to find lollygag moments, right? These moments where we're just like, all right, I've just done this, and now I'll kind of slowly walk over to go do the math maybe for a bit, and then maybe and all of a sudden something that used to take you 5 minutes to get ready, you're taking like 45. Because it's just like, I don't have to be there right now. So I would pretend like you had to. Like there was somebody there and you're going to get marked tardy. But the coolest part about this is you get to create what that looks like. Other than the exact one. So like say that math one, right? Is that one that you said at the same time and just not always, most of the time?
Well, we usually have them on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m.
Okay.
And then we do a Zoom call at exactly 11:30 every day, every time.
Okay. So now you put those in there, and those are now there. So now on the days those aren't there, first we put on all the things that have to be the case. Then if it were me, since that's the time I'm usually doing school anyway, my mind gets used to doing school at that time on those days. On the other days where that's not there mandatory, if I don't have another mandatory thing, I would put schoolwork at that exact time again. So 11 to, and you could even start a little before you actually start the school. You could start 10:30 or whatever. And so if it's 11 noon, let's say, you decided from like 10:30 to 12:30, you're school. I'm in school right then. I have to be. Even if that assignment's not there, that's what I'm going to do. And if I don't have a mandatory have to be in a Zoom or have to do this, I'm still going to sit down even if I don't have to do math then, and that's going to be my school time. I'm going to do that. And if something came up with family and your family wanted to go on a little walk or do something, you go, okay, cool. Like, I can do that. If it's possible to do it after this, that'd be great because I'm keeping the schedule. I'm sure your mom would love the fact that you're doing that schedule. But you can do things like that. And you just go, all right, it's not like I have to, but it is going to help. I promise you it will help. And so you do that. Then you fit in your guitar. Then you fit in your acting class because that's a one-day deal, okay? Then you fit in other acting activities. And you're going to fill your schedule faster than you think. And 2 other parts have to be in your schedule. This is mandatory, and this is a lesson for everybody. Fun, okay? Connection with friends. You have to. Just because we're not connecting in the same way doesn't mean we don't connect. So you figure out how long that is, what that looks like, where in the day that usually works for your friends. You could have a couple of them throughout the day, okay? And there's one more. This is what I call my body, mind, spirit time, okay? This is just a mind rest. So usually what I'm doing with my schedule is like 90-minute goes, like 90 minutes of going, and then I'll take like a 15 to 30-minute like rest. And the rest isn't just doing nothing. So for me, it's prayer, it's push-ups, or a walk, and it's reading something. Mind, body, spirit. I leave refueled, and guess what? Serenity, most of the time, I'm not getting more than 6 hours sleep. Most of the time. Usually it's about 4. But I feel more rested than most people who are sleeping 12. And that's something Matt taught me, because if you're using the time to just rest your mind, then it's refueled, if you think about it that way. It's like when you haven't eaten and you get hangry. Do you get hangry? Because I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. But your body's like, I'm done. Like, my brain hurts. Okay, cool. Let me give it a brain break. And then get back into go zone. Okay? So,
Yeah.
those are the 2 things. I cannot wait to hear about how you've done this FaceTime thing. If you have questions, ask me, and I'd love to help you. After that, I want to hear about the schedule. And if you want help in planning some of that, feel free to email Studio 2, and we'd love to help you with creating some of that. But basically, do all the layout first, and then if you have questions, let us know. It's really about just creating some of those regiments that will help you feel that way. Because I'll tell you, Serenity, especially for you, you were a go-getter. You are a go-getter. So the biggest issue is you're not feeling like you're go-getting.
Yeah.
So we'll adapt. We'll find more ways to do it. Start with the schedule. And then when you see all the spots that you have, then you can start to research and find out what things you could fill those spots with. What specific kinds of reading. What do you want to learn? What did you look back months ago and go, what at some point in my life have I gone, man, I wish I had the time for blank. I wish I could have learned French. I wish I could have learned, like, I don't know what it is. Like, there could be something that you just, like, I would have loved to learn this, but I've just been too busy. Now you can do those things. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go before I close, because I told you I would. I'll fill you in with the stuff that's been going on with me, because it goes directly into this. Okay, so again, we don't know what's going on. We have no idea where things are gonna go. Okay, so I got some tests with my kidney, and those kidney tests were the other day. Came in, and today my nurse was a little emotional, and she was just like, "Okay, Bri, like, I'm gonna tell you how it is. Like, first off, your kidney's doing really well. The kidney itself is going great. Like, numbers are good, you look good. However, you've built up a bunch of antibodies that are not good. And antibodies are the first sign of your kidney being rejected. So I've got this foreign body inside of me that's basically saying, hey, I don't know if I belong here, okay? And so the first thing for grieving that I dealt with, okay, and this is exactly where I told you to go. If you have to grieve, you grieve, and then you move forward in positivity. So I came back to the studio. I FaceTimed Shay because she's at home. Joey and Matt were in here, so we sat together. I filled them in. We cried together. And then we got excited. And we moved forward. Because there's no there's literally no point in sitting and grieving over something when there's nothing you can do about it. You do need to grieve, but if you continue to do it over and over and pull it, it's like a mini torture to yourself. And there are, again, some things that need a little more than others, but there are some that you can find new joyful ways, like your new FaceTime promotion. And by the way, you best write a speech.
I will.
Like, literally,
yes.
I cannot wait to hear that speech, and I cannot wait to hear that stuff. And in the same context, I'm telling you, even though this stuff's going on, I have full faith, I have full trust in God and what's going on in my situation, and I'm just moving forward in joy. I'm moving forward in joy, and how can I serve and love and adapt? And whatever happens is going to happen. I'm only going to worry about the things I have control over. You are so awesome. I cannot wait to see all this stuff. I definitely can't wait to hear the speech. Maybe we turn it into a monologue or something.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. So thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. And as we continue moving forward, remember, just keep filling yourself with that joy. Keep reminding yourself that you do have a choice, and you just need to learn ways to adapt, to find new ways to get into joy. And you're going to celebrate, and I promise you, that, like, if you call me 10 years down the line, you're going to be like, that was the coolest thing that ever happened to me. I thought it was awful, and it turned out to be one of my favorite things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Serenity, thank you so much. Is there anything, like, creatively, aside from that, you're doing, like, that we should know about that I can tell people about? I don't know if you're making any videos piano-wise or anything like that.
Well, I actually had 3 auditions during quarantine. I had one that I actually got to the 4th stage of, and then it got, like, put on hold because of the whole, like, travel ban, like, can't travel. But I got, like, a call back, and, like, the casting agent over Skype literally said that I was one of her favorites. So I got really excited about that. And then I have
awesome.
2 others that, one of them, they're not as big of a deal as the other one, but because they were national calls, but I still got them, which is I'm excited about. So I have those that I'm preparing for right now.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Do you have, like, an actor page or something like that?
I have my own website.
Website? Okay, what's your website?
serenitystarforeman.com. Star is spelled with 2 R's.
Cool. Will you spell that whole thing out nice and slow for our audience?
Serenitystarforeman.com.
You got to check it while you're doing it, right? I get that. So definitely everybody check her out there. She's an amazing actress, such an amazing person. I'm so thankful that you came on the show today, and can't wait to hear about all the stuff you're doing. And I want you to know, I know that this is going to help people. So not only today did we find out some really cool solutions for you, I know that by you being honest and by you coming on the show, you're going to help a lot of people. And so thank you for that. Thank you for doing that. I love you. I'm so excited you're in class, and keep rocking it, okay?
Thank you.
Awesome. You are the best. Thank you for being on this episode, and we will see you in class.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being a part of Teen Quarantine. We are so very excited. We are here every single week at 2 o'clock. Every single day, 2 o'clock. We'll have another episode tomorrow. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting this channel. You can like, subscribe, leave comments. Again, just like we talked to Serenity about, we're all about just making a difference. We want to help people. We want, in this time, to just fill you with joy. Like we saw the joy on Serenity's face. You have the power to have that joy. So help us share out this content. Help us fill out, put more light out there. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow on Teen Quarantine. Thank you.